Good evening and welcome back to MTG Card Collector. Today we're going to be doing a deck tech. And the deck tech is going to be one of my favorite styles of decks. Muldrotha Sultai. Yeah, we're going to play with some graves. Muldrotha, the Gravetide, is going to be the card of choice for this, the namesake of this deck. So we're going to be adding in some new cards. Unfortunately, I don't have those cards yet, but I will be explaining what each one of them do. Now, Muldrotha is a really cool card. She's expensive, though. 3, a black, a green, and a blue. This is a standard deck. This isn't a commander deck. So she's a legendary creature, elemental avatar. She's 6/6. During each of your turns, you may play up to one permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. If a card has multiple permanent types, choose one as you play it. This is a very unique ability that I actually find a lot of fun to play with. So I got 2 Muldrothas in the deck. Now the reason why I have 2 is you got to have some kind of alternate plan of being able to win, and I got that, and I'll explain that here in a minute. So Muldrotha. Hostage Taker. Now the point of this is to get creature cards into your graveyard, but at the same time you want to keep your opponent from having too many good powerful cards and too many ways of beating you down, so you got to sometimes take their stuff and cast it. 2, a blue and a black. It's a Hostage Taker from Ixalan. When Hostage Taker enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or a creature until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. So that's one way of taking their creatures. We'll just put those 2 Hostage Takers right there. Ravenous Chupacabra, because why not? It's 2/2 for 2 and 2 black. When Ravenous Chupacabra enters the battlefield, destroy a target creature an opponent controls. It's a nice way. With Muldrotha, you're able to bring back one of the 3, maybe multiple times. Poison Tip Archery. You might have seen this one in my other deck. This one, 2 colorless, 1 black, 1 green. It has reach to kill angels. It has reach to reach angels. Has death touch to kill those angels. And whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life, which is awesome. It's a 2/3, so it's really good for also blocking a whole bunch of little guys. Does a lot of damage. Right now, I got 3 of them in here. I say right now because there are some changes might be coming after I play test this more. 1 and 2 green, Thrashing Brontodon. It's a nice, it's a good defender. It's 3/4. Pay 1, sacrifice Thrashing Brontodon, destroy target artifact or enchantment, which is really nice. Right now I got 2 in there, but some people would say you should put those in your sideboard. I like it because for 3, if I'm able to get it out on turn 3, then you know what? It's also a really good blocker. And sometimes those aggro decks are just running 1/1s, 2/1s at you, and you want to be able to block it. So it's a nice way of blocking. Okay, Stitcher Supplier. Zombie, 1/1. When Stitcher Supplier enters the battlefield or dies, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. You want cards in your graveyard, so I put 2 of them in there. Worst case scenario, when they come in, I lose 3. When they die, I lose 3. Do it twice. It's a grand total of 12. But you know what? You want those cards in your graveyard. Llanowar Elves. Bit of mana boost. Bit of mana jump. You want them in there to help you hopefully speed up your deck. It is only green. It's primary. I can't have her. I want her, but they won't reprint her. So I'll take the Llanowar Elves. I'll take 3, or I'll take the green and do what I can with it. All right, getting into some of the spells. Actually, hold on. Let me grab this. You got to understand my printer is only does this because I'm not the smartest computer operator. Yes, look at the size of that card. It's amazing. It's huge. It's paper. Lazav the Multifarious. I'm going to put 2 of them in this deck. 1 blue, 1 black. Fills the 2 spot. When Lazav, it's a legendary creature. He's a 1/3, but when anyways, when Lazav the Multifarious enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Which is always cool because you can put another creature in the graveyard or a card in the graveyard or leave it on top. Pay X, evolve The Multifarious becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted mana cost X. Except its name is Resolve. The Multifarious is legendary in addition to its other types, and it has the ability. The nice thing about this is when you're playing, you need a grand, a green source, or you need to kill off really bad, 10/10. I can't think of an artifact, but something, an enchantment that's kicking your butt. You're able, and this is in the graveyard, able to copy it. And yeah, granted, you're going to end up sacrificing Resolve, but you're able to kill it. Another one, able to get that angel out of the sky. Another one, able to take that angel away from them. You're catching my drift, right? Even if you have the Muldrotha in the grave, you're able to use that one to bring Muldrotha back, because this one's name is Lazav. The Multifarious becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted mana cost blank, except its name is Lazav, which means that you can bring back a Muldrotha and theoretically have 2. I just broke magic. Okay, sorry. Broke standard. Standard is now broken. Okay. Another one I'm going to put in there, probably 2 of. Doom Whisperer. Yes, 3 and 2. Nightmare Demon. This thing should be legendary, but it's not. 6/6. Flying, trample, pay 2 life. Surveil 2. When I looked this up to see how much these were going to cost, I was expecting $5-6. They were at $17.99 when I was looking this up last night. That was the October 1st. I mean, $17.99. I do expect the price of these to go down. Demons always skyrocket and they always come down. But, for 5, you get a 6/6. You pay 2, you surveil 2. I mean, I can theoretically go through my graveyard. Through my library pretty quick. Izoni, Thousand Eyed. I'm going to put one of these in my grave. Or in the deck. I like the Undergrowth. When Izoni Thousand Eyes enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. I like it. I think it costs way too much. 2 black, 2 green for a 2/3 creature that, you get to boost the amount of creatures you have in play, the insects. But that's only if you really want to go wide. So I have one of them in there. I'm going to test it out and see how it does, but I'm not too sure on this one. All right, so let's go on to, honorable mention. Honorable mention. Might put this one in the sideboard. Okran's Assassin, 1 black, 1 green. It is a 1/1 creature, but it has Death Touch. All creatures able to block Okran's Assassin do so. I like this because when you get it out, you're able to pretty much pick the creature that's going to kill, or that you're going to kill. The downside is they can just keep attacking and tapping their own creature and not have to attack you. Or not have to block you. So it's kind of like up in the air. I'm going to test it out once I get my other, I'm getting a box and a bundle. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so some of the spells. Instance. Vraska's Contempt, 2 and 2. Everybody knows this one. Everybody hates it. Exile target creature or planeswalker. You gain 2 life. I got 2. I keep thinking I'm going to buy a third one, but I don't know. Cast Down. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Cost 2. It's great. Yes, I got 1. Walk the Plank for 2. It's a sorcery. Destroy target non-mover creature. So right now I've just got a grand total of 5 kill spells. With the Ravenous Chupacabra, you're kind of going up there. Now, Mastermind's Acquisition costs 4. I love this one because it is sorcery speed, which is the downside, but you search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Or you can choose a card from your own outside the game and put it into your hand, so you can take something out of your sideboard. And primary reason of putting this one in there was because what if you're put in that situation where you really need to get that Muldrotha out, and you're just not finding it. It's already like turn 9 or 10, and you're going to die in the next 2 turns. So, you want to get your Muldrotha out fast because something big and scary is going to help you to pull cards back out of your graveyard. That's what you want. Okay, Journey to Eternity. These are cuttable. I love them, but at the same time, I don't. You're only allowed to have one of them in play at a time because it's a legendary enchantment. It costs one black, one green. Enchant creature that you control. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Then return Journey to Eternity to the battlefield transformed under your control. Which means you get the creature back, so your Ravenous Chupacabra comes and hits the deck again because it returns to the battlefield under your control. And this one comes back and it becomes a legendary land. So add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, which is that's all right. And then for 5, you get to return target creature card from your graveyard to your battlefield, which is another way of getting a card back. The only downside is you put one in play. When it flips, you put the other one in play, and when it flips, it gets rid of the first one. So I'm not really happy about that because it doesn't say you may. It says then return Journey to Eternity to the battlefield transformed under your control. So it doesn't say you may. It basically says you have to. So you're going to lose a land. But that's why I have 2 of them in there. Now, I'm not a big fan of using only 2 cards. Two. I want my cards to come out quick. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you need mana fixing. You got to find other ways of mana fixing. And that's what this is. Sorry, that's the Russian version. Gift of Paradise. Enchant land. When Gift of Paradise enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. And trust me, you're going to want those 3 life because when people start seeing you pull things out of the graveyard, they're going to want to kill you quick. Enchanted land has add 2 mana of any 1 color to your mana pool. So there's part of your mana fix. And I'll explain that, but there's part of your mana fix in case you can't get a certain color. This one's kind of fun. This is a fast way of getting things back from your graveyard. You get to discard their stuff. Each opponent, Eldest Reborn on 5, Enchantment Saga. On the first turn, when it's put in play, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. On the second turn, each opponent discards a card, so you're taking one of their cards out of their hand. And then on the third turn, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, so you can take one of their creatures or one of your creatures, which is always fun. So you're killing a creature, you're making them discard, and then you're bringing a creature back, which, I'm sorry, that's cool. I got 2 of them, Eldest Reborn. So this with Journey into the Nyx, with Mastermind Acquisition, because you can pull them out of exile. I don't know if people realize that, if you're new to the game, but it says choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. So if a card has been exiled, you can bring it back. And Muldrotha. So if they put a, what do they call it? Sorcerer Spyglass on this, you can bring it back. I believe. I'd have to reread Sorcerer Spyglass, but yeah. Essence Scatter. Essence Scatter is nice because Essence Scatter, I only got 1 in here, but I got more in the sideboard. When you get it, you keep it in your hand. You watch the game as it's playing. Get around turn 5, turn 6, turn 7 if you've had this in your hand for a while. You're waiting for that big boy to drop, and you can just drop it on them. So Essence Scatter is a nice thing to have, at least one of. I'd say negate, but most of the time with a deck like this, you really kind of want to kill their creatures, the big creatures. Chromatic Lantern, I got 2 of them in here. These are, anyways. This is lands you control. So artifact for 3 lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And you can also tap this, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So on turn 4, you're theoretically on 5. You're able to cast 5. So if you have a Land of War Elves out, you can get this even quicker. Turn 2, be able to get this out. So, which is nice. There's your mana fix. If you can't find a certain color fast enough, there's your mana fix. Every land becomes a color of your choice. For lands, I got, I think it's 6 swamps. 6 swamps. 4 forests. I think it's 2 or 3 islands. And then it's going to be 2 drowned catacombs, 2 woodland cemeteries. Only got 1 right now. 2 hinterland harbors. If I can find my notes. 2 of the watery graves and 2 of the overgrown tombs. And main reason I'm using those just in 2s is watery grave, overgrown tomb. If they come out on your first turn, you don't really care because you're not really going to cast anything except maybe Stitcher Supplier or Land War Elf. So in that case, yeah, pay the 2, take 2 life, and then use it for green or use it for black. But at the same time, if you don't, then it's, you know, it's turn 1, turn 2, whatever. Let it go. It's 4 cards in the entire deck. Now, these cards require that you have at least a, you know, a forest or an island, a swamp or a forest, a island or a swamp. Watery grave and overgrown tomb, they count as island and swamp, or overgrown tomb, where it is a swamp and a forest. So if you get one of those down, or you have any of these other ones down, you can pretty much guarantee these are coming in untapped. But trying to keep the price down, or at least my pocket from exploding and my wallet running away laughing at me, I'm going for 2 of each, which would, you know, keep it a little bit controllable. Now, on to the sideboard. Sideboard's a work in progress. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. I'd love comments. Got 3 divinations, so draw faster. Sorcerer's Spyglass, in case they have something I don't want to ever see again. As Sorcerer's Spyglass enters the battlefield, look at opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So pretty much they can put something into play, but their mana, they can't be used unless it's a mana ability. So kind of helps out. Goes against what I was saying earlier, but yeah, you got what I mean. The nice thing about using that acquisition is you can bring a Sorcerer's Spyglass to stop that Planeswalker. Plummet, in case you get too many flying creatures. Vicious Offerings, you know, I got, and Cast Downs. I got those in there just to help in case it's an overrun like a Boros deck and I really need to just throw in a whole bunch of kill 'em spells. Reclamation Sage, if they have a lot of artifacts or enchantments. This one also, if you really need it, Mastermind's Acquisition can grab this. I don't see why it would, but you know. Essence Scatter, once again, Essence Scatter, have 2 of them. This is a work in progress. I thought about putting negates in here, but I'm just torn on it. I probably will take out 3 of the Vicious Offerings and put in or take out 1 Vicious Offering and 2 Cast Downs and put in 3 negates. Any suggestions, I'd very much appreciate it. Now, if you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for notifications when I upload a new video. I do plan on this Friday getting a bundle and maybe opening it up Friday night, Saturday morning. If there's anybody has any suggestions on a deck that they would like me to make and try out, please let me know. You do my best. If you have any questions at all, just write a comment and smash that like button right down there. I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night.